Kim Productions have decided to create a film noir teaser trailer, and in order for this to happen, we had to do an extensive amount of research in the general forms and conventions that make a respectable film noir teaser trailer, which we had to then implement in our own teaser trailer to give the audience a good representation of film noir in the 1940s. The reason we had decided to go with a film noir theme as we wanted to do something that was different and original, something that would challenge the grounds and improve our knowledge on a certain type of cinema that was once famous in the 1900s. Our group name is called KIMM Productions. KIMM Productions stands for the initials for each member in the group. We started off with introducing our company name to the audience, but we did not want to create a company ident because from our research into the film noir genre, this was not very conventional to do as everything was plain and simple due to the lack of technology at the time. But we decided to break the convention here as we decided to send a message to the audience through the appearance of the text Kim Production. The font we had used was American typewriter, and the sound we had accompanying the text was a typewriter sound, which was worked effectively together as it gave the audience a feeling that someone was typing it, therefore gives the audience an idea that it's a story about someone's life or someone reiterating their life. What has happened to them, which draws them in and makes them want to find out more about the movie. For film noir, we are constantly told that the lighting and the mise en scène is the main thing that will determine what makes a film noir film. And from this and our research, we showed this that this was right, and therefore tried to show these conventions in our teaser trailer from the beginning to the end. In the opening scene, we have the protagonist, which is played by Masood, entering an office from the inside, and instantly you can see the conventions of the 1940s, which was the time that we were trying to portray, which was a fedora hat and a long trench coat. This showed the conventions of the 1940s, which showed the target audience what they used to wear in that time, which was suits and hats as part of their dress sense. To today's time, there, as today's time, the shadow behind the main protagonist is slightly elevated and higher than the actual protagonist, which shows the status of the protagonist in real life and the way he feels. In reality, he feels sad and depressed at the event that is taking place in his life, and the shadow is a portrayal of who he wants to become, someone who is high in power and has authority. But for now, he is a detective that is picked out especially to investigate a crime. But this is something that the audience is unaware of, which is what we aim to keep the audience wondering. The constant crossfading between scenes shows how all the scenes are entwined together, as each scene has a meaning towards the next, and holds a vital clue as to what it is in the trailer. This shows the audience that there is a link between the protagonist and the place that he is at, office, and the woman that is coming up to him and giving him a kiss. This shows the target audience that the scenes in the teaser trailer have a link to each other, as well as having an effect on each other, and each piece together makes a puzzle. This is a typical convention in film noir. From our research, we have seen it in many trailers when conducting our research in film noir to gain a sound knowledge of what to include in a teaser trailer. This angle that we used in film noir, but we have decided to use this type of camera angle because we felt that it was still early in the teaser trailer to reveal the audience where the protagonist is, which is an office. And as he is walking, you can still see the camera slowly pan to the edge of the table, but you can't totally see it, which still allows the audience in their mind to wonder where he is and why he is there. This scene was to represent the immense power that the protagonist holds and has within him. This scene shows that the protagonist's shadow dominates the scene and also the mise en scène, which we wanted to show the audience. The shadow shows that there is a greater character in the plot, and the protagonist is not the only one who is in control of his own actions. The glass has been found with a woman's lipstick on it. Was she the victim or is she the suspect? Nobody knows. And this is the key element that we wanted to remain throughout the teaser trailer. We wanted to tease the audience, making them wonder what the movie is all about. We used the glass with whiskey in it and lipstick mark on the glass. The mise-en-scène showed that the cup is dominant in the scene, which means that the key evidence that the protagonist is looking for. The camera pans straight from the cup to the wall, which has got blood on it, and also gives some cuttings from newspapers that has been gathered by the victim. Slowly the story unfolds, but doesn't unfold so much that it gives the story away to the audience, but gives them a sense of what is happening without them getting bored. This mid-shot shows what the protagonist can see from his eyes, therefore that's what the audience can see, which makes them feel a part of the trailer and makes them think that what is happening here and has it got to do with the protagonist, and therefore the audience will be eager to watch more and find out more about the movie. The Dutch angles is also a camera angle that is used a lot in film noir, which shows a scene in a completely different way to the audience. And the whole point of using this camera angle was to find two things. One was to show the disarray of the event that was happening in the office as things started to slowly unfold, as the protagonist gets more confused, and this is shown through this type of camera angle, as it is on a tilt, which portrays unbalances in character, personality, and uncertainty of events. Whatever could happen next could happen either way. This was a shot that showed continuity in the scene, as well as depicting what is in the mise-en-scène. First of all, I will talk about the continuity of the shot, which was a medium shot, as you could see the protagonist's body as the camera pans up to his face while he is picking up the phone. It concentrates on his top half. This again shows the importance of what he is doing in the scene. The protagonist is obviously inspecting the scene now from the glass and to the phone that was left off the hook. The camera followed the protagonist picking up the phone, listening to it to see if anyone's there on the other end, and then put it back where he found it. This was this was effective as it showed the flow from one scene to another without disruption, who allowed the audience to concentrate on the convention of the props that were on the table as well, for example, the old style telephone and the typewriter. This scene was to mainly establish the area that the protagonist was in, and mostly you could see that from what was on the table above. I have described the main props that was seen on the office table and how they are suitable to the time period that we had set it in, as well as the feel of film noir. The old style typewriter, as they didn't have computer in those days. The phone, which didn't have numbers, a button to it. It was the one where you had to call the operator first to connect with the person who you wanted to talk to. And the whiskey holder, a stylish whiskey holder that was used to pour whiskey into cups, as people in the 1940s loved their whiskey. A record player on the side of the desk. All of these props had to be carefully chosen and put into the scene, as it wasn't right to have it set in the 1940s and have a computer that belonged to the 21st century, as well as this type of technology wasn't available at the time. This was effective as it shows that we were trying to make our scene as much as possible to represent the 1940s time period that we were trying to portray.